Cup Finale in Shanghai, Round 2. Hello there everyone and welcome to OpenFed Gaming. You're listening to the OpenFed. Today we are driving in a Mazda MX-5 in the MX-5 Cup. It's a circuit racing event and this is Round 2. We're driving the streets of Shanghai, China at the Yan'an Tunnel Run. We're doing 3 laps. We're driving at sunset with rain in a convertible. And we started out car number 22 of 22. Now you be thinking maybe that right along here I should be ripping past all these cars, but you know, these little cars are quite light on the road, and when the surface of the road gets wet from rain or snow or anything else like that, these cars tend to spin out. Even though they're not high-powered machines, they will spin out. So we just take it a little easy at first. Keep an eye on the track, see what it's like, see how erratic, chaotic the other drivers are going to be, because sometimes they get a little wild. And here we seem to slip by a bunch of extra ones and get right near the front of the pack. Wow, look at that. We made it all the way to position number 4. We only have 3 cars in front of us. But the race is long from over. There's 3 laps, and these laps are not short. And you know that tunnel run, OpenFed always seems to slow down a little bit through the tunnel. I get a little bit of a claustrophobic feeling, and I don't want to run into the wall, so I tend to slow down a little bit. So I do have to build up a buffer zone with the cars behind me so I can get away from them. Whoa, look at these guys. Now, why would you slow down in the middle of the race in a tunnel like that? We better get away from them. Get up in front of them and keep rolling. Now, I've mentioned before, when I'm driving in a race like this, I like to keep 1 or 2 cars in front of me as long as I can see them early in the race, because then they can act as a pace car. I have a real problem. Once I get ahead of the cars, I tend to go fast, slow, and it's not a good way to race, so I can't seem to keep my speed at a certain speed and just keep the buffer zone at the same distance. So I like to keep a car in front of me, but that doesn't always work, because here we are, now we're in 3rd place, and we only got 2 cars in front of us. And these guys seem to slow down quite a bit around the corners. So, you know, when they're racing like that, I'm not going to wait behind them. I'm just going to shoot past them and lead the pack, so to say. And we'll see what happens. We'll do our best to keep an even speed and see if we can stay in front of them with 4, 5, 6 seconds worth of buffer, so that I can drive according to my style. Try to practice a little bit on my track, from side to side, using the whole track and keeping an even speed going. But these guys, they like there again, he just slows down in front of me, so I'm not going to wait for him. I'm going to pass him. And we're only just starting the 2nd lap here, and these guys are driving like it's just unbelievable. They don't seem to want to go. So if that's the case, not a problem. OpenFed's going to race by him, and we're going to drive by ourselves. We do love the game. We love the race. The track is cool. Driving with the rain does make a difference. The road surface does get a little slippery, so you do have to drive a little bit easier when it's raining than when it's dry out, which is only understandable. They've coded that right into the game, obviously. So when you can get by them, we're just going to go by them and see what happens. Now, we're about halfway through the 2nd lap, maybe a little bit more, and we've got a 3.5 second lead on them, which is okay, because 3.5 to 4 seconds is what I like to have, especially when I got to go through that tunnel. And I usually lose 2, 3, 4 seconds worth of time. So we try to get a little bit of a lead build up, and then we can drive a little bit calmer, because I don't like the erratic, chaotic racing. It's just not a lot of fun for me. This is much more enjoyable. But there again, like I said, once you're in the lead, now we're 4.5 seconds in the lead, and here comes the tunnel. Now normally I would lose a little bit of time going through this tunnel every time, which is why I want the bigger buffer zone, a little bit more time in between me and the next car, just so that I can stay ahead and take it a little easier through the tunnel and not have to worry about crashing into something. However, this time it's working a little bit better. We're almost up to a 7-second lead. But if you keep an eye on that, Evan Kennedy is 6.2, 6.1. It just goes up and down and up and down because I can't seem to pace myself at a steady rate, which is the reason why I like to keep 1 or 2 cars in front of me so I can follow them. So we're gonna just try and drive this track as clean as we can. Like I said, going from side to side using the whole track, and see if we can stay ahead of them, the other cars that is, by anywhere from 3.5, 4 seconds and higher. You know, I'd like to try and keep it at an even 5 seconds, but I don't seem to be able to do that, which is okay. As long as we stay ahead, then we have an opportunity to win, and that's what it's all about. We'd like to win the game. Well, actually what it's all about is, are we having fun? And when we're winning, we are having fun. So we are coming up to the end of the second lap, and we're gonna do another lap. See, now we're down to 4-second lead. Boy, I tell you, it sure changes around for me. I wish I could figure out how to keep this car going at a steady speed so I don't lose that buffer zone, you know. Now we're up to 6 seconds again. And I don't seem to, it doesn't feel like I'm going faster or slower because I'm trying to drive according to the road conditions. You know, not run into any barriers and just try and drive a clean race. Anyhow, we're just going to rip along here and enjoy yourself. The graphics are awesome. The gameplay is fantastic. Every car is a little bit different. Like I've said before, these little Mazdas don't have a lot of power. They're pretty responsive and drive good on the track when it's dry. When it's wet, it's a little bit different. You gotta drive a little bit. I drive a little bit slower. I try to take it a little bit easier. But you don't always have the opportunity to do that. So as we're coming around the corner here, we're going to be coming up back into that tunnel run again. Now the tunnel does look awesome. I do like the looks of it. The graphics look great, you know, but like I said, I tend to slow down a little bit going through the tunnel. But that's okay. We're going to rip through here and see if we can keep that 5.5, 6-second lead. We're up to 6, so, you know, we seem to be doing okay. We're getting better. I never used to be able to do that. When I go through this tunnel, I'd lose like up to 5 or 6 seconds sometimes. I've had cars pass me in here. So the AI doesn't seem to mind. They don't care. We're almost up to 8-second lead now too. So we're doing pretty good. I think we're going to be all right for this race. This is a really, really fun race to run. I really enjoyed it. We've got a couple more races to go in the MX-5 Cup event. So I hope you stick around for that. They'll be coming up within the next few days. And they're a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed this race. And if you did, give us a thumbs up. If you don't want to miss any of the other races of the MX-5 Cup event, then hit the subscribe button and help us get to 100. We're sitting at 92 at the moment. I'd love to get to 100 before the end of July. We're just a small channel and it'll help us out. I really enjoyed this one. I hope you guys did too. Hope to see you back here again real soon. You've been racing with the Overfed.